the body positive movement has evolved so much over the past several years that now if somebody wants to lose weight or lose fat, all of a sudden you are anti-body positive and you get kicked out of the community. The great thing about Problems is it makes me my most creative.
Off. The pill!
Shall we clappy claps?
Yep.
Perfect. Welcome back to another episode of Off the Pill Podcast. You're a little premature there.
Ooh.
We got David in the moderator seat. Paco's right next to me. I'm Ryan, and we have a very special guest, Miss Cassey Ho, a.k.a. I was going to say the other one, Blogilates. I was telling them earlier, I don't know why, but for the longest time, this doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm bringing it up. I thought I called you Blogilates. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Blogilates?
It doesn't even, I know it doesn't look Blogilates. I thought for the longest, I don't know why.
It's okay. I've had Callie Muscle called me Blogilates.
Okay, well, but that makes more sense because it looks like that. Mine's is like a little...
But BioGates is like a little like biohackery.
Maybe
It's kind of cool.
I don't know. I just wasn't reading. I just don't read. So, anyway, for people who don't know, you are probably, if not the biggest fitness YouTuber or blogger or YouTuber.
YouTuber,
You are the biggest fitness YouTuber, right?
Yeah.
If not
for women,
one of the big,
maybe
yeah.
for women.
Right,
yeah.
right. And primarily, I mean, you do kind of like vlog stuff. It's not just being an instructor, right?
It started out with Instructor, and then people wanted to know, well,
Yeah.
what do you eat? What do you do? And so it got more.
Which is
into
better because they
lifestyle
care
thing.
about you more, right?
Yeah, sometimes
It's
they care.
not just you yelling at them.
No, but sometimes they care too much. If you
What
know
does
what
that
I
mean?
It
No, I
means,
don't know.
It means that they feel obligated to know everything that's going on in your life, and they feel like they have control over what you do. And if you don't do something that's quote unquote on brand, then all of a sudden you're wrong and you're a bad person and all this kind of stuff. So
I
that's
see.
what I mean by
can
that.
sense some tension there already. Yeah. I feel like
Something on your mind.
Yeah.
She was like, you know what? Let's just get right into it.
Yeah, I know. I like this. So
Everything. Open up
we're
the
getting into
purse.
the goods already right now.
Oh man, did you want to warm up with something else?
No, we're going wherever. So this is called Off the Pill because it's pretty much off the Adderall, off the Ritalin. Basically, just our minds will go everywhere. So wherever we want to go. And we're going to start right there. So
We're
let's
gonna
get
start
right
right
to
there.
it.
No calisthenics. We're going straight in.
We go straight into it. Okay, well, yesterday was the end of my 90-day journey. So let me tell you what that is. So
Yeah,
it
what is
started on August 16th, and I decided that I wanted to get to an athlete level body fat percentage, and I wanted to lose some weight along the way because that obviously is what happens. And when I announced that, because I was going to be blogging the entire time, people went crazy.
Why?
Yeah, why exactly, right? I preach eating healthy. I preach working out, and that's exactly how I was going to attain these goals. And I got called out for being not body positive, for hating myself, for being a bad role model for women, for being psycho and needing to go see a mental health specialist. Like the craziest things and the meanest stuff. But I told myself that I wanted to go on this journey because I needed to find my authentic self throughout this journey. I wanted to blog every day for 90 days, which I hadn't done for a long time because I've been getting a lot of, opinions and people wanting to shape me a certain way in their head. And so I, over the past several years, have become a vanilla cupcake trying to be what everyone wants me to be. And so the beginning of this 90 days was me speaking my mind again. And so, of course, when I speak my mind with very tame stuff, it's not like I'm doing anything crazy. Women's Health writes about me being controversial, BuzzFeed, Daily Mail, and it became this thing, and I was like, oh my God, I'm literally gonna lose a little bit of weight, and I'm doing it in a healthy way.
Wait, this all happened yesterday?
No. So that happened on August 16th.
Okay.
Yesterday was the end of my 90 days.
So you
Got
completed
Yeah.
it. You
I
completed
did. I completed yesterday.
Congratulations.
Thank
Yes, that's
you.
awesome. That just very coincidental. We weren't planning to just do this after that.
Yeah.
But okay, how has since that happened kind of a while ago, how has the response been since? I'm sure people have kind of come to their senses, right? I'm sure there's people who are still just they don't even read what your explanation is. They just know, she's not for body positivity.
Body positive.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the terms. Yeah. But I feel like that's been your thing. I don't know. I guess maybe that's why they might have jumped the gun on that?
So I'm gonna, because I've tried to analyze this so much, because I know that if other fitness YouTubers or bloggers announce the same thing, they wouldn't get the response that I got. So I'm gonna go back about till like 2013, 14 or something. I released this video where I was photoshopping myself to look like what the comments were telling me to look like. Why don't you have a smaller waist? Why don't you have a bigger butt? You don't have abs. You're not a real fitness instructor. Which is really mean, because it doesn't matter what you look like when you're teaching fitness. You're just teaching. Anyway, so the video was me photoshopping myself, and that went viral. And I was on Good Morning America and all these things. It was crazy. I really didn't expect it, but it was a way for me to battle the haters. And after that moment, anytime any media outlet spoke about me, it was body positive fitness influencer Cassey Ho, body positive YouTuber Cassey Ho. It became like my thing.
Yep.
So the media branded me that way. But the reason why I even made that video was because I was just a Pilates instructor and I was doing videos, but I just didn't have visible abs. And literally that caused the comments, which caused the media, which now caused me to be labeled as a body positive person or something, which is fine. Like, that's fine. But the body positive movement has evolved so much over the past several years that now if somebody wants to lose weight or lose fat, all of a sudden you are anti-body positive and you get kicked out of the community. And so that's kind of like what happened.
That's so hypocritical though, because you can be positive about a skinny body, right? Or you can be positive about, I mean, it's not like you're saying, hey, this is what the standard of beauty is. I mean, like, if you want to lose weight and you're happy about it, then I mean, I don't see why that's an issue.
Yeah, and I mean, that's how I feel about it too. As long as you're loving your body along the whole journey, whether you're trying to gain weight or lose weight, like, who cares? Even if you're trying to get plastic surgery and you just like love yourself and you want it, like, that's that person's choice and we shouldn't be here to judge them. But yeah, it's just really changed. The evolution of body positivity has changed over the years. And when I announced it, people went crazy. They were like, unsubscribe, you're a terrible human, you need to get psychological help, you're mentally ill. Like, these words kept repeating over and over. And it was interesting because this for me was a blog journey. So a lot of it was writing. I didn't release a video on YouTube, and the meanest comments actually came from YouTube.
I'm sure.
Not from Facebook or Instagram. YouTube was really critical because they didn't go over to read my blog, I think, and just like judge me based on, like, you know, a little caption and then go read here for the rest. They just like went wild. And so anyway, it was lots of drama in the beginning. Towards the middle, still drama, little less. I just like actually stopped posting on the YouTube community tab as much because it just fired people up for some reason, even when it was positive stuff. And then towards the end now, I'm about to do my finale recap, and I think that's going to be drama too. But I am happy to tell you that I did reach my goals, which is really cool. Because,
Awesome.
because in the beginning, when I announced my goals, there were so many people saying, oh, your number, you're so irresponsible for announcing your numbers. You make me feel bad and all this kind of stuff. And it was just like insane.
Yeah.
But you know what? It kept going.
Before you even did this 90-day challenge, did you expect that sort of response, or at least think like, maybe I'll get this? Or was that like not even in your thought process?
Well, I knew that it was going to stir something, but I didn't know it would stir as much as it did. It was like, there was hatred, like actual, like, you are a bad human. I did not expect that. So that was actually really hard to deal with, and still is right now, because I thought for me with diet and exercise, diet would be hard because I like to eat everything. I can like literally eat forever. But dealing with the negativity that's been pushed on me, that's been the hardest thing. Yeah.
Well, it almost seems like you're just another victim to cancel culture. Like somebody who's just like, you know, fanning the flame. Like, people just like to be upset about something. And I think if people actually took the time to hear what your side of the story was, and not just, I'm assuming they're just seeing things in a very broad scope, like reading a headline in an article and not reading the article.
Exactly.
And it just seems like, I personally can't see how that's negative. Like, I can't understand that you just wanted to go on a diet. How is that gonna, I don't know, this is mind blowing to me.
Well, I think like I read the comments, and you know, there's hateful ones and then there's constructive. And I understand where some of these girls are coming from because some of them may have an eating disorder. I myself had an eating disorder like way back then where I was scared of bananas and things like that. And so mentally there was a time period where I needed to heal myself. Luckily, through lots of work, I am healed now. And so I think some fans were generally concerned that I was falling back into something dangerous. So I get that. But after explaining myself and them seeing me being on this thing for 45 days and I'm totally fine, like, and still getting that, it's like you really just don't want to see that I am better and I'm getting better. So, and I think maybe a lot of people look to influencers to validate what they're doing because it's like, oh, I look like her and it's okay to eat like that or work out like that and whatever. And all of a sudden your idol is now changing. It's like, I'm lost. Who do I follow now? You've betrayed me.
Right.
So I kind of think like, that's probably what happened a
Yeah,
little bit.
I could understand that, I guess.
Yeah.
When you say eating disorder, does that mean eating too much or eating too little?
So there's a lot of forms of eating disorders. There's anorexia where you don't eat anything, you eat very, very little. There's bulimia where you throw up the food that you eat. I had orthorexia, which means I only ate healthy food and I was scared of anything that wasn't healthy. I don't know.
That's a disorder?
It is, but I don't know if it's like medically a disorder, but like
Sounds
that's what
like
people
it
call
is.
it.
Someone just made it up. Like, I like only healthy food, so I'm going to call it this, right? Or I only
What
like...
was it was it unhealthy?
Well, it was because the fear of food. So I always felt like I was in food jail. So so I was in a bikini competition, and for that I was super high protein, low fat, pretty much eating just like egg whites, protein powder, counted my almonds, and like very, very low calorie during that period when I was getting lean. And after that period, I was terrified of eating bananas and apples. I just thought they were going to make me fat. And so mentally, I was messed up. And it took me a while, like actually a few years, to break out of that cycle because I also messed up my body and had metabolic damage. Meaning that sometimes I ate pizza and I would lose weight, and sometimes I would eat salad and gain weight and nothing worked. And so, yeah, I kind of messed up my body.
When you talk about like the people who are complaining about like the fact that you're not body positive, right? Are these types of people, are they a certain type? Like, do they have a certain type of disorder, or is it because I'm thinking that maybe the fact that you're trying to lose weight and there's the people are saying that you're not positive about being overweight. Is that what they're basically saying by?
Are you asking if the people that are commenting that are overweight people?
Yes, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did it in a very PC way.
Yeah, because I
No,
mean,
but I understand that.
I understand that like you should love your body even if you are overweight, and I know there may be people who have issues with being overweight and it's tough for them to lose it. But I mean, I think it's general knowledge that being overweight is unhealthy, right?
Here's my problem with terms like overweight and obese. It's based off of a standard.
Yes,
and
a health standard.
A health standard. And who knows what was it? A bunch of Caucasian people, or what was it? Like what was it? Like, do you like are Asian standards the same as whatever the standards in the, these medical textbooks are? So I don't feel comfortable with standards. I think they help doctors make a decision, but I think when it comes down to it, it's a very individual thing. Do I know if the people who are mad at me were overweight or not? I literally have no idea.
Can't say,
But I can say that they are people most likely with insecurities. That's all I can say.
Whether it be that they're overweight or not.
Or something else.
Sorry.
Yeah, or whatever.
Overweight,
Yeah, or
quotations.
something. And so, I mean, I don't want to say that they're just projecting on me, whatever, but it very much felt that way. And it was interesting to have your own fan base kind of just judge you so hard. And yeah, but it's all good right now internally because I don't ever regret going on this. I feel amazing. I have so much more energy. I'm stronger. I'm faster. And I'm just glad I did this to prove to myself that I could make some goals and then reach them.
Can I ask what diet you did and what did you do exactly? What did you change?
What did I change? So the first month I did keto. Have any of you guys done keto?
Yep.
Yeah? Okay, cool. I did keto, but I'm lactose intolerant, but I wanted to eat the cheese and the yogurts and stuff, and I started breaking out a lot. But I did lose 5 pounds in the first month. But anything I do in the first month, I lose about 5 pounds. Then I ate so many nuts that I kept gaining weight steadily for a couple weeks, and I was like, oh my God, what's happening? Then I realized, okay, Cassey, like let's be honest with yourself. You're just overeating. And like I told you, I can eat forever. Like take me to a buffet and I will out eat anyone. I actually want to be a competitive eater, but I'm not going to do that. But I really want to have a burrito that's as big as a baby. Have you seen those?
No.
No? Okay. I
mean,
have.
what kind of that's not a normal baby right there. With your hands are like 3 footballs long. Like that's not a normal baby.
Well, I want to eat a burrito as big as a baby one day.
Okay.
Anyway, where was I going with this? I have no idea.
You wanted to be a
something about
competitive eater.
It was something about your dieting.
Oh, dieting. Yes. So overeating. Realized that I was probably overeating, even though I was eating healthy things.
Yep.
So the thing that really changed it for me was tracking my food in MyFitnessPal and writing down, okay, I had this much and this. And it really taught me, I feel like I know portions, but you can always feel your hand a little extra, make your tablespoon like twice as much. And so really logging everything, weighing my food kept me really strict and in a good way because I knew exactly what I was doing, what I was ingesting in my body. I knew the macros and everything. And so that really changed it for me. Yeah. And workouts though, I mean, for the most part, I did like 1 rest day a week. I started dancing more towards the end of my journey and that made me less stressed and more happy.
I feel like if you didn't work out, you wouldn't be as hungry. I think you're so hungry because you work out so much. People work out, eat more, right? I mean, you need more energy.
Okay, so I did this blood test, a genetic fit test, and I've also done 23andMe. Have you guys done that? 23. Okay. So in my 23andMe, it says that I am genetically more predisposed to be overweight. And my sister has predisposed to be underweight. Also my dad, I think my mom was like normal. Sam, my husband, is predisposed to be underweight, or the same weight. So I already have the genes that make it difficult for me to have a lean body, which is interesting because I'm in the fitness industry and almost everyone has a lean body. So where was I going with this? I lost my train of thought again.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I think I was just saying that I personally, the people I know that work out the most eat the most.
Right, because you need energy. And anyway, so I took this genetic fit test that not only confirmed that, but it also said that I had like some genetic variant that said I like to eat a lot. So yeah,
I didn't know that was I didn't know that was a thing. I mean, I probably
Apparently.
have that too. I can eat a lot.
Well, you also seem to have high metabolism, I think.
No, I
No?
can gain a lot. I
Really?
can gain a lot of weight really quickly, and I can
Really?
lose a lot of weight really quickly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I used to wrestle, so I did really unhealthy crash diets.
So you know
10
how to
pounds
lose
in
weight
like
fast.
a couple days.
And were you doing like
It's mostly water
dehydration?
weight, but yeah. I mean, that was just like when I starved myself. It was like the worst. I mean, wrestlers.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know.
Those weight classes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a thing, and we did the whole, they would do the whole body fat testing, hydration tests, where you'd have to measure your fat and all that stuff. And there's always there's ways around it.
Like
It's
what?
a very unhealthy sport.
Wait, can you tell me about it?
I mean, I don't want to encourage other people wrestling right now. I'm sure they have better ways, but they would essentially, the hydration test would measure how much your body fat is. There's a minimum, right? I think it's like for guys, it's like 7% or 6 or something like that. I don't know what it is. The healthy body fat. And then they compare that to your weight and how hydrated you are. So you pee in a cup.
Okay.
So I knew people that would just use like little Visine bottles and just use that to hydrate their pee a little bit more.
Oh.
So they'd be completely dehydrated, but they'd pee a little, add some water to it, and using that I don't know what that thing is where they look into this like little crystal tube thing and they see how hydrated you are. Basically, that's the way a lot of people cheated that stuff.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah, wrestling's a very dangerous sport.
We're spitting into a bucket.
What?
That's what they did with when I did wrestling as well.
Oh, you
Spitting
did
into a
wrestling
bucket?
too.
There were some people who spit into a bucket, like they would chew gum just to lose weight. I mean, it was like not much weight, obviously, but
Oh,
No, it all adds up.
but if you keep doing it all day long, you'll
Yeah.
have some water weight that's gone.
Could you cry it out?
I'm sure
Probably.
you could.
Maybe they could
We'd-
watch some
we'd-
sad movies. And
You'd be surprised. I mean, we did some dangerous stuff. Like we used to like wear trash bags and then go running and then go sit in a hot car and turn
Oh,
up the heaters and then, take X-Lax and all that stuff.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
so you think you did damage to yourself? I think I did a good amount.
Yeah, that sounds like
Yeah.
it. Wow.
just to make weight.
And just bad habits. I think and I started like, we'd eat so much and then like see our weight increase by like 10 pounds and then just crash and just lose it all. And that mentality kind of stayed with me to a certain degree. I don't do that as crazy, but like I think it's a very dangerous habit to get. I mean, I think it's a habit because I think I still do that to a certain degree. Not starve myself, but I think, I'm going to just lose it in a couple weeks, and then if I gain it back, I'll just lose it again.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And it's interesting because we never really talk about men dieting or men's view of their bodies and how they feel about it.
Yeah. And a lot of, I mean, I don't call out names. A lot of people, a lot of guys, they care about that stuff too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Getting bigger, getting ripped, and
Yeah.
then, you know, being skinnier, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's very normal, I would say.
I think especially when you're in front of a camera, you can notice
That's
it,
true,
right?
too.
Like,
Yeah.
I notice if I even gain like 3 pounds. I mean, is that a lot? If I gain like even 3 pounds, I'm like,
You can see
Well,
it.
you can
yeah,
see
I can see it in
Yeah.
my And so, you know, I'll feel sad and then I'll be like, okay, I'm not eating for the next 3 days.
Wait, so do you guys like struggle with the way that you look in the mirror ever?
I don't, not really, not me.
I would
yeah,
say
for
for
sure.
me, I would say like there's days where like, man, I don't want to take a picture today. You know, or like, and then there's times when I'll like lose weight and I feel, not because I feel like skinny is beautiful, but like I just feel like that's the right weight for me. And I feel like this is what my face should look like, or this is what my body should look like.
You feel comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And then it's not that I don't, when I'm bigger, like I don't mind.
Yeah.
But it's just like, this is like what it should be.
Okay.
For me, for like what I want.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I would say there's definitely days where I'd be like, I don't want to take a picture today.
Yeah.
You were just talking about this today.
With what?
You said you didn't. You were working out more, and
Oh yeah, just like
because you never work out.
I never work out, but like for me, just noticing like when you look a little bit more out of shape. For me, like I just want to look skinnier, mostly because I know if I'm skinnier, that means I'm more fit, and I'll just be able to perform better when I play sports and stuff
Right.
like that.
And see,
That's
it's like
true.
performance based.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is it about halftime? That's why.
Yeah, we're about there. Yeah.
Oh, shall we take do our shishi break?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. So we're taking a shishi break right now, and apparently this is a new thing. So what do you have prepared for us? Are you gonna serenade us or perform something for
Yeah.
our
Wait,
halftime show?
I don't even know what a shishi break is.
Shishi is where we take a bathroom break and we use the bathroom.
Oh,
You were hanging
I
out with people from
see.
Hawaii.
Yeah, you know what shishi is.
It's a
I
Hawaiian-
don't know. I was
not
like, I
Hawaiian,
was like,
but-
are we eating sushi? Like, what are you saying?
No, this is just our halftime break.
So what talent do you have that you can perform in 30 seconds?
I can sound like a pigeon
Okay.
For 30 seconds.
for 30 seconds.
No, you
I
don't have to do it. Just
it?
go ahead. I don't know what a pigeon sounds like anymore.
Sounds
We got
like
a bird
that.
there. We got a bird there.
The thing about that is in Hawaii, I've had friends do that, and then they have their
Slipper?
flip-flop or slipper loosely on their foot, and they slap it
Make it
against
sound
it.
like the wings.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good.
Pretty hardcore.
Yeah, we didn't. This is literally our first time asking someone to do that,
Okay.
so we didn't have to do that. We just said
I
we're gonna
don't
just start
know.
asking halftime show. All right, we'll be right back after our shishi break. And we're back.
I got a question.
Okay.
Have you ever fasted, like a straight fast with just water?
No, I have not.
I've read a lot about that, and apparently it's very good for you to do that once in a while, like a straight up fast.
So I've never done that. I've done a juice fast, but that's still like 1,200 calories a day. So I was never actually
1,200
starting.
calories
Oh.
of juice.
Uh-huh.
What kind of juice?
I just went to Press Juicery and bought like their beginner's pack. It was too sweet though. But it made me lose straight up 7 pounds in 3 days. But it was just water weight.
Yeah,
And
right.
wastage and stuff like that. Yeah, but I've never done a water cleanse. But yeah, I've heard like monks can do it up to like a month. Like, I don't know. I just really like chewing.
Yeah, I love food too, but I tried it for 3 days.
Oh, you
and all I
did?
did was think about food. But I will say that it did give me a lot of clarity. It was weird.
Okay, how did that happen?
I don't know. I hear that that's what happens when you're on keto too. But your brain functions a little bit differently, and you do get like this weird kind of energy that's not your like normal physical energy. But you do get like this like it seemed like my brain was not.
Tired.
It didn't seem tired. Yeah, exactly. I felt pretty sharp actually.
That's
when you don't
great.
think about food, then your thoughts and the things that you have to focus on actually are very clear. So I don't know. I noticed that for myself. Just wanted to see if you've tried it.
Wow.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
When I was on keto though for that month, it was definitely not the diet for me. Like I was constantly thirsty, drinking like just
You're supposed to be though, right?
Yeah.
I was like that too.
I was super thirsty. I started getting these keto like flu headaches. Did you
Yep.
get that too?
Felt tired all the
dry
time.
mouth, yeah. So then my friend who wrote like a book on keto, he was like, "Oh, you need to take like you put salt in your hand and actually like eat it. Plus you need all these supplements." And I was like, "You know what? That's not my thing. Like I just really like to be food is my medicine. Medicine is my
Yeah.
food." So I just decided that wasn't for me.
Yeah, I don't think I did it the right way either. Where like you check your ketone levels.
Oh, I didn't do that.
Yeah, I didn't
And
do that.
I didn't want to prick my finger. I hate needles. I cry still as an adult.
I didn't even know you
can't.
had to do that, but I didn't.
Yeah. You're supposed to prick your finger, check your ketones, and be like, "Oh, am I in ketosis or not?"
Right.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
See, I did it back before keto was keto. Before it was a thing. Like I did it wrong, but it was like before it was a fad. I would say back in like 2010, 11.
So
maybe.
so then you're doing like Atkins basically, like low
Kind of,
carb?
but no
Yeah.
carb.
Yeah.
Like even down to like, low carb, but
Yeah.
down to like, okay, this has 1 gram. I'm not going to eat it.
Wow.
Yeah, because I didn't know. I didn't know anything. There was
Right.
no real information out there. I just knew
Right.
that by starving yourself of carbs, your energy will come from your fat. That's all I knew. I didn't know anything else, and that's not quite the right way to do it. But it works. I mean, you lose weight, you just don't feel great.
No, you don't. And anytime you take out an entire food group, you're probably going to lose weight from the initial shock anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you'll plateau.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was wondering what got you into the fitness thing? Like, were you when you were young, were you always like into sports and were you very active? And is that what kind of triggered that, or was it something else?
Okay, so my dad trained me and my sister in tennis when we were really young. So I started playing tennis when I was like 5 or 6.
Wow.
He's a USTA coach, and oh man, it was like Asian dad yelling at you on the court situation. But he was a good coach, I suppose, because I made varsity my freshman year as team captain from sophomore to senior year. But I hated tennis so much because it had always been about it being for my dad, for winning, for the team.
Right.
So I didn't discover fitness until I was 16. Because when I was 16, I wanted to do a pageant. I wanted to do the Miss Teen Chinatown pageant, and I wanted to, look good for it. And when you're a teenager and 16 and it's like 2002, like I didn't know anything about fitness, but I saw an infomercial for Mari Windsor Pilates, and I asked my parents to buy me the DVD because it looked really cool. Like these women just lifting their leg. And I was like, that's really fun. They bought it for me, and then I did those videos religiously and fell in love with like home fitness. And it's crazy because now girls do my videos just like that on YouTube in their bedroom. So when I was 16, I discovered Pilates. I ended up getting certified as a sophomore in college.
Wow.
And then I started teaching just on the side. And then I didn't start my YouTube channel until after college. And really it was just, I was moving from LA to Boston for my very first job. And my students at 24 Hour Fitness are like, "Oh, Cassey, who else is going to teach us this?" Because my format is pop Pilates. So it's Pilates to pop music. It's kind of like a dance on the mat. No one else was teaching that. And so I said, okay, I'm going to record this 10-minute video, put it on this website called YouTube. It's just for you guys, like 40 people. Then I left. And that's how the YouTube channel got started, because I wanted to continue teaching from a distance, which is crazy because that's exactly what I'm doing right now, except all over the world. Yeah.
That is crazy.
And you've done in person. I've seen pictures of like you with like hundreds of people, like in person.
Yeah.
Doing the dance routines and stuff. That was insane.
It's crazy. My biggest one was Singapore, and we were on the Empress Lawn, and we're all doing like plie squats, and I could barely see to the horizon, but I later read that there were 3,000 to 4,000 people there that day plie squatting with me, and I was like,
gosh.
what?
In Singapore, where it's like 90 degrees with like 100% humidity rate.
Oh my God. Singaporeans are so like perfect. Like they were all on beat. I don't know how,
Wow.
but yeah, I mean, everything about them is perfect.
It's like school for them. Everything's
Yeah,
very
everything is school.
disciplined and do this
Disciplined.
by the book.
Yeah.
Well, I have a couple of questions because you said you graduated college, right?
Yeah.
But what did you graduate in?
Biology. So I majored in biology and minored in business.
And then you are also like fashion buying at some point.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. So I had always wanted to be a fashion designer. I've drawn dresses ever since I was a little girl. But when I told my dad and my mom that I wanted to become a fashion designer, they were like, you are definitely not doing that because you're going to be poor, you're going to have no friends, and I don't know, all the other mean stuff. You won't be successful ever. So I decided to not do it. He said, you should be a doctor because you're doing well in bio and chem right now. So just go do that. And so I did that. But my heart was just not into it. My soul was gone. And so I always drew things on the side. And while I was teaching Pilates in college, I had to hold my yoga mat, my CD, my keys, everything. It was all over the place like this. And so I decided to design a yoga bag for myself. And when my students saw it, they really wanted to buy it. Then I found a local manufacturer to make some of these bags. And before I left for Boston, I remember sending out a few bags to some magazines. But at this time, every bag that you make is like gold because it's all you have. About 8 months into my new job as training to become a fashion buyer. So I really was like, no, I'm not doing this whole biology thing. My parents were so mad at me because I dropped out of organic chemistry last minute to make sure I could not make it in time for my MCAT. I had to sabotage myself because I was such an obedient child that I just went through with everything that they said. I wanted to be perfect. And so I really had to sabotage myself. Anyway, so 8 months into my fashion buying job, my sister is texting me and her finger's pointing to something on in the text. And I noticed that it's my yoga bag in Shape magazine. And so I took it as a sign to quit my job and go for this 100% because you never know if you're going to make it if you don't give it your all, right? And so I quit my job. I bought a ticket to China on Friday and left on Sunday. Went to the Canton Fair, found a manufacturer, and then let the bags develop. I came back to Boston and pretty much just kept making YouTube videos because now I had no job and I was teaching like at 6 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 a.m. like every day, and it was weird, 12 times a week, barely making any money and just trying to hustle.
Wow.
So yeah.
That is people I don't know if people realize how rare that is and crazy and risky.
Yeah.
Especially because it seems like your childhood seemed to be almost like a very you're a stereotype. Like the Chinese, you're full Chinese?
Chinese, Vietnamese.
Okay, well, Asian parents who
yeah.
say become a doctor, don't do this other nonsense, and you decide to walk away from that, pissing them off in the process.
Yeah.
And going all in.
But everything's good now with the family.
Yeah.
They
don't really. They don't like that you're doing successful now. Like,
it's one of those things where it's like never enough.
okay.
So like even if it's like, I think they are proud of me because it's this whole landscape they don't even understand. But it's always more like, well, why can't you sell more? Just like those little questions here and there. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't make me feel
It's
good.
like a movie.
Yeah. So I guess a follow-up question to that, because a lot of people, they constantly want to know from their idols or people that they look up to, what made you make the jump? Because you've made several different jumps. What gave you the courage, or what was the signs, and what allowed you to persevere through the hard times, like especially when the only thing paying your bills was doing Pilates teaching, and you said you had it rough?
Yeah. What made me take the leap was that if no one was going to believe in me, I needed to believe in myself. And if I were going to fail, I wanted to fail hard and know that and be like, okay, we're good with that. I don't want to ever regret that I never tried. And so I'm always willing to take the risk on myself. And back then as a college kid, I just wanted to follow my passion, whatever that meant. But following my passion, following my gut has gotten me to where I am today because I know what feels right and what doesn't. And my whole motto is do more of what makes you happy, do less of what doesn't. And so following that has allowed me to get here.
Do you think though, because a lot of people will be like, yeah, nice, I'm going to follow my dreams now. But you did, in a way, your parents instilled a lot of hard work ethics into you, it sounds like, just because even with talking about your 90-day, you were just like, I studied all this stuff, I took so many notes, and just everything you've talked about so far, it just seems you've extensively done research, you take notes, and you put work into it,
right?
So it requires a lot of that as well. If you want to speak on that.
Yeah, I mean, clearly it's not like follow my heart, la-di-da, everything's going to be fine. You need to have a plan, like plan A, plan B. And, but I do believe that when you go for something, you have to go all in. It's kind of like, I don't know, have you guys ever rock climbed or whatever. Okay, doing something where pretty much if you don't go all in, you're gonna fall off. Like you have to just make the leap. And so for me, that's what I needed to do in real life to see if it was gonna work or not. And I don't know, maybe it is something innate. Maybe it is, well, not maybe. Definitely, my parents trained me to be a very studious person, a very disciplined person. But also, I'm a high achiever, and I like progress. I like results, and I like getting that A. I mean, like, that's just who I am. It stressed me out throughout school, but I really liked it, and I liked reaching my goal this time. It brings me a lot of joy. So, yeah, I mean, you just got to be smart about it. Because, like, it's not like I went for my dreams and invested all my money, or there very little that I had that time, into these bags. I didn't know what's going to happen. I was still teaching. I was still hustling. I was doing like Craigslist jobs. Like, I think if it were back then, I probably would have been driving Ubers and delivering Postmates. Like, I would have just like done everything and been very humble about it until I could get where I wanted to be.
Right.
What do you tell yourself? Like, do you ever think about what could potentially go wrong? And do you try to convince yourself, like, if it goes wrong, then this will happen? Or are you just more like kind of stubborn when it comes to those types of, scenarios in your head, and you're like, I will never let that happen?
Well, things are always going to happen. So many terrible and things have gone wrong in my life, but I immediately switch into problem solving mode. There's no time to be sad about it. It's like, how do we fix this now? So you just got to be ready. And even if you're not ready, just start thinking really hard. How are you going to fix this? Because I think the great thing about problems is it makes me my most creative.
Right. True.
Absolutely.
It's interesting. You say that in the beginning, that you were very sensitive and emotional person, but it seems like you're very logic based when it comes to work.
That's the thing. When it comes to work, I'm super logic based. I'm super problem solving. But when it comes to people judging my character, I become like this, like really soft thing that just melts and dies.
Yeah, that's so interesting to me, because it's usually it's almost one or the other, but it's the kind of both.
Yeah, so like I think back to school, and I feel like I had a hard time socially because I don't know, like I my high achieving self made it hard for people to like me, I guess. I don't know. But I definitely wasn't cool. It definitely wasn't cool. And I always struggled in the social scene. And I think that's where that whole, the comments affect me so much thing comes from, because that's a social thing. Yeah. But work-wise, I've always been like, I don't care. I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to do it, whatever. And that's
it's something
on
you're
me.
confident in.
I'm very confident in my skills. But when it comes to social stuff, like sometimes I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like,
Right.
What about the social stuff were you kind of uneasy about? Like, was it hard to make friends? Was it regarding dating, or was it like interacting with teachers? Like, was it something like that? Or
teachers have always been fine, because like
You're a good
I was
student.
like teacher's pet. Okay. Students, friends. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I just see. I'm even struggling with it now. I just like, I don't know. Okay, I'll tell you about one time. So I ran for student government freshman year of high school, and here's the thing: I'm not well liked, but I am well known back in that scene, because of all the things that I did and all the clubs I was in or whatever. But when I was in student government, which is super cliquey and super popular kids, I remember we were making a float for homecoming, and I was in charge of the budget, obviously. And so we were at Walmart and trying to buy hairspray to like spray down the thing to make them stick up, these like tissue papers. And so I'm like, okay, we should buy the generic brand because it's cheaper than this like Tresemme or something like that. And the kids, like, they videotaped me, and then they sent that video around telling everyone that I was cheap. Like, I don't know, just like stuff like that happening scars me. And like, I still remember that. So I don't know. I don't know what that is, but I just have always struggled socially.
So do you now buy the more expensive tissue, or do you still stick
That's
with
your takeaway from it. Yeah.
Okay, I still shop at like Home Goods, Marshalls, TJ, but I like saving money.
Yeah,
but when
yeah,
it's
of
time to
course.
buy luxury, you can splurge, but like, be smart when you can be smart.
So we have some questions from fans here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep. We got one here from Marianne. She asks, Would you ever consider running a marathon?
No.
That
ran
was an easy answer.
I ran a half marathon
That's
twice,
still pretty
I think.
impressive.
I hate running. Like I hate it. Like I'll do it, but I do not enjoy it in any aspect. My legs hurt, my mind's numb. I just like really don't like it.
Yep.
So no.
Do you like sports though?
No, see, I don't like sports either because I don't like being competitive physically like that. I guess like internally I'm like semi-competitive just based on my work stuff, but not like that it overtakes my life. But that's why I really didn't like playing tennis because it's always about winning or losing. And I just hated that. I don't mind competing against myself, but competing against other people stresses me out.
So what are other ways you compete against yourself?
Oh, just like, okay, just for example, like the 90-day journey. Like, I want to hit this number. How do I get there? How do I get there faster? Like, what can I do? Like, that kind of stuff. Or like, I lifted this much yesterday. How much can I squat today? Like, that kind of stuff. But yeah, when I'm comparing to other people.
Why don't you want to, were you valedictorian?
No.
Were you striving to be?
Of course.
But that's the best amongst everyone.
But I couldn't do it. My SAT scores were not that great.
Is that based off SATs?
I think it's everything. It's
Oh,
GPA,
really?
SATs, everything.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was just GPA.
I have no idea.
Yeah, we weren't close, clearly.
Yeah, not even close. Oh wow, I wouldn't have. I would have assumed you're just incredibly competitive.
Yeah.
I think I
I don't know why I assumed that.
Well,
I've
I
assumed a
think
lot
I-
of things about you.
I
It might
think
be
I
wrong.
am. I think I am competitive, but I don't like being competitive.
You don't
I
like
guess.
making other people lose, basically.
No, and I don't like losing either. So I just rather not be competitive.
Do you do like board games or stuff like that? And
I love
does
playing
it come
board
out a
games.
little bit?
Not too much, not in board games. I think it has to do with like work and stuff like that. Work or like beating sales from last year and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just confirming with the gentleman in the back because he sat up straight when we started talking about you being competitive.
He's nervously laughing on the couch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm competitive.
You want to go to the next
I
one?
just
Yeah,
don't like
we
to
got
be.
another question here from Potter Freak. Tips on always staying motivated when working out. I'm sure you
Okay.
get this a lot.
Oh yeah. So
This
here
is an important one.
Here's the thing. You're not motivated if you don't like what you're doing. So like pick a workout that's fun. So I love dancing. I love Pilates. Like when I go to my workout, it feels like a treat, not a chore. So that's number one. Secondly, maybe have an accountability partner, like a friend, a sister, boyfriend, whoever. Do it with you. So now it becomes like a date. So that makes it fun. Again, it's all about finding the joy in working out. And that to me is the secret. And also finding something that you can constantly get better at, something that you can increase your skill in because it makes it exciting to come back and be like, oh, can I do this handstand? Am I a little straighter? Did I run like 1 second faster than last time? Like, I think that's
That
incredibly
is true.
motivating.
Yeah, having being able to see improvement
Yes.
is very addicting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Progress is addicting.
But to counter that, a lot of people don't improve very quickly and they get bored or they're just not patient or I feel like
plateau
most
quickly.
most people if they don't stop seeing results, they just quit, right?
so then
And that happens a lot for a lot of people.
It does. And that's why I love doing all sorts of workouts. So sometimes people are like, oh, why do you do yoga and Pilates and dancing and all this other stuff? It's because I like to. It would be so boring if I just did one thing all the time. But I think you're just going to find that level for you that makes it exciting and interesting.
Right.
So whether that's through variety or increasing your skill level, just find that thing that keeps you coming back. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. We got one more here from Daniela. She asks, if I want to get in better shape, not just losing weight, should I focus more on workouts or on eating?
So in my experience, what did she say? She wanted to
shape.
better shape.
Better
That's
shape.
workout, right?
Not just losing weight, just better shape
Okay.
by working out or eating.
Okay, so
Properly.
I guess we don't know what she means by shape, like physical shape or just like healthy fit shape.
I'm
but
assuming she means like a six-pack
Okay.
kind of
Oh,
body.
if we're
that's
talking
probably,
about
yeah.
leaner,
That's what I'm
then
guessing.
if we're talking about leaner, I think when people say that abs are made in the kitchen, have you guys heard that?
Yep.
It's because all of us have a six pack, so that it's covered by a layer of fat.
Yep.
So in order to get rid of that fat, it's going to be a lot of cardio, a lot of HIIT workouts, and then of course, maybe creating that calorie deficit so that you can start losing the fat on your body. For me, in my experience, especially on this 90-day journey, a lot of it was food, because I've always been working out. I enjoy working out, but the food I had always been overeating. So focusing on the food, I do a lot of lean protein along with vegetables, cauliflower, everything. That's what I replace my rice with, and that's helped a lot. I know.
tried.
Cauliflower is great though. I
I hate cauliflower
Okay,
rice.
right. I tried cauliflower poke yesterday from Sweetfin.
Oh my god.
No,
that
it's so
sounds
good.
disgusting.
No. It's good. You have to try it. It's actually really good.
I would try it, but I've tried the cauliflower rice and
From where?
well, I mean, I've had pre-made ones and I tried
Okay.
making my own.
Okay.
And I mean, the thing is, if you want rice, it's not rice.
It's not rice.
It's
not
something.
rice.
It's definitely something.
It's
but
something
it'll
white.
never replace rice. You shouldn't call it rice.
No, you're right.
It's just cauliflower.
Just
chopped up really nicely.
minced cauliflower.
It's not bad as its own dish. Yeah.
I like it. I think cauliflower rice helped me on my journey.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I love rice, but I can really easily overeat that, and it bloats me. Unfortunately, as an Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, saying having a better diet.
A diet
is more important to get abs than it is to get. Well, I mean, everyone has abs.
Everyone
but to
has
get
abs.
rid of the layer of fat, it's not just working out; it's your diet.
It's both. It's totally both. Because
Theoretically, though, couldn't you just not work out and just starve yourself, and you would get abs, but you'd probably die? But I mean, like
Right.
over time, you'd see your abs, right? Like that's like starving people who have abs.
Really, you're
this
right.
is true.
Yeah.
No, this is true. This is true.
Not.
Well,
It is, right?
it
Because if
is.
your
You'll see
abs are there.
and you'll see ribs. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
so it's like that's not
I guess-
what you want.
I know, but I mean, theoretically,
no,
what about-
theoretically, yes.
Yeah.
What about African children though? Because it comes
The
to a point where
bloated.
you're
No, but
so
that's
malnourished,
different.
it starts to eat the muscle there.
well, that's
so it
not
can't
what I
hold
was
it in.
trying to say.
Oh, you said starve yourself.
Okay.
You're canceled. No, just kidding.
Anyway, yeah, I think I've heard that before though.
Yeah.
Like you need to. I mean, I know for a fact that you don't lose that. You can work out all you want, but if you're eating bad, it doesn't really. It just
doesn't-
counters it.
No, it totally counters it.
Yeah.
Totally. It's so much easier to just eat 1,000 extra calories than to burn 1,000
Yeah.
extra calories. It's just how it is.
I was
Yeah.
always like had the issue of like I don't know if you mentioned or not. I don't know if we're similar.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've always had like this issue where I like quantity of food. Like you said, you like to eat a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
And,
volume.
like I would rather go to a place that has like a $20 like 16 ounce like a big steak
Mm-hmm.
than to go to like a fancy place that's like a filet mignon Kobe beef. It's like this big, like the size of like a scallop.
I agree with you 100%. I love volume. I
I-
want to fill my belly.
I think it's an issue. I like the feeling of feeling full.
Me too.
That's why it's dangerous, though,
Guys.
Yes.
Don't you think? Because I know I can stop. Like a lot of times, I'll go to dinner, have appetizers, and be like, I'm good, but I'll keep going.
Because you're so high. You're so high achieving. You just
Maybe.
keep going.
I don't like to waste either.
It's also the Asian in you right now.
Yeah.
You guys are going with the generic brand
What?
when the filet mignon is name brand.
What?
We want to save money.
Yeah, you guys are
We're
saving
we're
money.
trying to
That's what
save
I'm
money.
saving.
Okay, when you go to buffets,
Uh-huh.
what did your parents used to tell you how to eat at a buffet?
Go to get the expensive stuff.
Yeah. Don't touch the rice. Crab legs only.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, they would yell at me if I wanted tofu.
No, but
or
I still
something.
get rice. Like at buffet. That's how much I like rice. It's not. It's a bad
I mean,
habit.
rice is amazing.
Yeah, I know.
I love brown rice though. Like I naturally like brown rice. It's chewy and good. Do you like brown or white?
White, but I could eat. I'll eat. I love
Any
all
rice?
rice. Mexican rice even. I like all rice.
Forbidden rice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. Well, we learned a lot. We learned
Yeah.
a lot today.
Good.
Yeah. We learned that everyone has abs deep down.
We all do
And there's different ways to achieve it. And you lost 16 pounds?
17.5.
17 and a half pounds
That's
in
crazy.
3 months.
That's
great.
actually really. I've never
That
done
is
anything
really good.
like that.
And it's harder
before.
for girls to lose weight too.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And we naturally just have more fat on our
Yeah.
bodies. Yeah.
But-
yeah.
Well, congratulations again. And thank you for being here one day after your big, what is it called?
90-day
challenge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
90-day challenge. Well, that was coincidence. But that's awesome. Great
Well,
to hear.
thank you. I'm glad to be on here. And like I told you before this, like Ryan, I I watched all your videos like back in the day, and when you were with Dietrich's making that Christmas one, the Christmas song, Decorate the
God, it's so
Decorations.
random.
Literally my favorite video of all time. My sister and I will
So
play
random.
it every Christmas, so we're gonna play it this Christmas again.
That's funny.
And we like
so
to-
you're the person watching.
I'm
No,
the
no, it's
person-
still-
I'm the one giving you those views on Decorate
You know
the
what's
Decorations.
funny? Those Christmas ones or like the seasonal ones
Yeah.
always do like they actually get more views over time. Some
I
videos
love
people don't go back
them.
to them, but like those they
Oh my
do
God,
for whatever
can
reason.
you make more of those?
We could tell David like that's he's the music dude.
It's done.
He didn't do that one, but he's the music dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you for having me on your podcast. It's
Well, thank you.
It's really cool to see.
People don't know, but just another shout out. You let us practice our horrible BGA moves at your studio.
Oh.
So thank you for that.
Oh, welcome.
we weren't really practicing, but we tried. So again, you want to plug anything?
Yeah, what's going on? Like, you have
whatever,
any
whatever you want to use.
your socials, your
You
merch?
want to plug your Bilogates?
My BioGates. Let's see. When is this coming out?
Soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, when people are watching this.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I don't know if you guys want to get started on some type of a workout plan, just go to my blog, blogilates.com. There's like free workout calendars. And that is a great place to get started if you need to get motivated. And that's all.
Your socials?
Yeah. My socials, Blogilates everywhere. Blogilates.
That's
Except
Bilogates.
except for TikTok. Someone took my name. But I also don't do TikTok, so I don't know.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, well, with that being said,
follow
us.
you can find. I was getting to it at Off the Pill on Twitter and at Off the Pill Podcast on Instagram. And the way that we always end this, essentially, we just blow into the mic.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So in 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's aggressive.
Wait,
Oh,
wait,
you're competitive.
wait.
You did say blow into the mic.
Competitive.
We always say that.
But
You said breathe.
Oh,
you
sorry.
said breathe.
into the
You
mic.
said blow.
You
so
said blow.
All our audio listeners just went, oh!
yeah.
Yeah, we'll have you turn it down a little bit. All right, awesome.